So we've been having these rallies. I'm not even president anymore, and there's thousands and thousands of people. Yeah, one side talking about declassifying the classified documents, and the other half of the country, full of patriots and strong people, are still coming out to see their president. And then somebody came up to me the other day, they said, Sir, have you heard, sir? And I said, what? And they said, Sir, there's a new book, and it's bad, sir, it's so bad. And I said, they're still writing books about me. They're still writing books about me. You'd think they'd written everything, all the lies, all the fake news, and yet they still want to make money. And there's nobody, you notice there's no Sleepy Joe books coming out. Not a single one. Why? Because nobody cares. Some people should care. The government should care. If they weren't such a military wing of the Democratic Radical Left Party. But they should care. But they don't care. And then book people don't care, the people who make the books. Because they know they won't sell a single book with Sleepy Joe. So then they said, Sir, you don't get it. This one's by Maggie Haberman, sir. And I said, that short woman who would follow me around? I thought she was a groupie. Always, for years, I'm walking around the White House, and there's this, pleasant. She's got glasses. She's a little short. I don't mind. It's okay. And she's following me. She's following me everywhere. I thought, a lot of women like to follow me, but I thought, you're getting a little too close. My wife, Melanoma, is going to get a little jealous if she sees this one, and she's always asking me questions, so curious about me. And for a while I was like, and then I realized she was writing for the failing New York Times. So, we'll see what happens with that. We'll see, I don't know. I don't think that's doing too well. But then it turns out she wrote this book, Confidence Man, and I think that's fair. I thought, okay, that's fair, I'm confident. And it says, The Making of Donald Trump and the Breaking of America, Maggie Haberman. And look how her name, that's right, it's a big fake news book, very heavy, a lot of pages. I'm getting my workout in. You see that strength? You see that strength? Look at how big her name is. How arrogant is that? And we've been looking into Maggie Haberman, and it turns out some people even say her real name is Margaret. And I said to her, since you're following me around the White House so much, why don't you show me your birth certificate? How about that? We can see who the hell you really are. And she would say, no, sir, I don't think that's necessary, sir. Here's my driver's license. And I said, yes, but some people call you Maggie, and other people might call you Margaret. It might even say that on your birth certificate, and she never produced it. I wonder why. But this is a very nasty book, from what I've been told. I haven't read too much of it, but it's, we found one passage that I found was very interesting, so I thought I'd read it. But this book, this is like the Bible of the fake news, the Bible. It's like Moses came down from the ski lift and had a big book and said, this is the Bible, Jewish people, and it's big and heavy, and it's by Maggie Haberman, who might also be Margaret. We don't know. We have to look into it. That was what Moses said. But the passage I found very interesting was about a commencement speech I gave, which is true. I give a lot of commencement speeches. And it said, okay, so let's see what Maggie Haberman had to say, very important journalist. 2 years after Cohen's death, that's Roy Cohen, my great mentor, Trump gave the commencement speech at Lehigh University in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, which is where Jesus was born, by the way. Not a lot of people know that. It's called Christian. A rolling campus with a sprawling sports complex and his brother Freddie's alma mater. I had a brother named Freddie. Okay, well, you learn something every day, even from the fake news. Upon collecting a honorary degree, Trump shared his wisdom, yes, you got that right, I am wise, with the class of 1988. Now this is me talking. She put the quotes, the fake news quotes, not on deep background. She actually is maybe quoting me. I could stand up here and talk for 20 minutes about how important, book is heavy, about how important the parents of the graduates are, Trump said. But I think we all know that. I really wanted to talk a little bit about the negative, and that's the obstacles. The obstacles in your way, in my way, but the obstacles. And you are going in, this is very well written, this, not the book, but my strong speech. and you are going in, and you're really one of the earliest group to go into a class of this world, and get out there and fight a new obstacle, one which has just come on board, and one which is probably going to be, by the time it finishes, one of the great disasters, and that's AIDS. Have you ever heard a better commencement speech? I get sort of emotional when I think. I was warning these kids so strongly. Everybody else was probably giving very boring commencement speeches, and I got up there many years before Donald Sterling yelled about Magic Johnson, and I taught those kids at Lehigh and Bethlehem, the home of Jesus Christ, Pennsylvania, to look out for AIDS, and nobody talks about that. So actually, Maggie Haberman, out of 9,000 pages, it seems you got 1 page right. So how about that? Good for you. All that stalking, following me around the White House when I didn't know who the hell you were, looks like you got it right. So I give this book a very bad grade, but it could have been worse. So kids, don't read. It's not good for you. And this book is a lot of reading, which means it's very not good for you. Bye-bye.